Stalls are back and they're off and racing here. Walani on the outside jumped away well. Better Loosen Up has jumped with them with also Pugs Dancer and Multiculture. Timpanize showing good speed. 600 to go. Walani nearing the turn, about a neck in front of Timpanize on its inside. Better Loosen Up a length away, third the outside, 3 then to Emerald Haggett, then Pugs Dancer and Trickton. In the straight they race, 400 to go, and Better Loosen Up on the outside moved up with Walani. Timpanize battling on the inside, but Better Loosen Up got its head in front of Timpanize. Walani starting to struggle there, well clear of the others. Better Loosen Up, he's pulled the whip. Timpanize back on the insides, on turns with him at 100 to go. Timpanize the inside and Better Loosen Up stride for stride. It's Timpanize just in front. Better Loosen Up ducked in, comes at him though. Better Loosen Up put his head in front and Better Loosen Up gets the money. Scores by nearly a length to Timpanize. 5 away third Walani. Number 6 the winner here. Number 6 Better Loosen Up, ridden by Ron Burgess, trained on the track by Les Theodore.
Racing Sydney, here's Ian Craig.
Followed a length back by Eastern Cove, Chintilla 4 wide. Flash Gypsy 1 off the fence, our Henry second last, and Absolute round the world. As they head to the back, Dittman wasn't happy with the speed on Will Echo and sent that stallion to the front. Opens up about a length, Better Loosen Up. The fence is Desert Bow and above them, and Will Echo a half Better Loosen Up. Third placing Chintilla 3 wide, a length the Desert Bow inside of Eastern Cove, 2 Flash Gypsy round the world. And Absolute in the field, our Henry about 6 from the leader, Will Echo, as they travel to the bend. Better Loosen Up edging closer with every bound, about a neck from the leader. 1/3 is Eastern Cove and then Desert Bow, and the widest is Chintilla, homeward bound now, and Better Loosen Up on the outside, going a shade better than Will Echo at the moment. He hasn't moved, Marshall. Now he slaps up the favourite, Eastern Cove on the outside and then Desert Bow, but Better Loosen Up. Johnny Marshall gives him a couple of cracks with the cane. He shot away from Eastern Cove, Flash Gypsy, the staying mare round the world flying home, but Better Loosen Up a mile too good, and Better Loosen Up has won it convincingly. Second round the world, a Cummings Quinella, third Flash Gypsy, 4
Sydney, and the winner number 4 Better Loosen Up to return 70 a win and money back 50 the place. Round the world, the
9 Better Loosen Up is the weight tip in the race with only 51 kilos. He was previously trained by Bart Cummings, now with Colin Hayes, and a very unlucky second.
And they're just about set to go for this Group 1 race over 1,600 metres. Famous mile here at Flemington, and they're racing in the Honda Never Quit slow out, and so too was the Grey Swifts in. Marlong beat them out. Jumping quickly was Bronze Knight. He looks up for the early lead with Fen Dalton, Painted Ocean, Royal Creation up there early today, and Glenview wider. A couple of horses getting interfered with there. Painted Ocean was one of them. Royal Creation also got a slight frat. Better Loosen Up goes up to be about midfield now with Pressman's Choice, and then Acid Print, Aces and Kings, and about 2.5 lengths to Swift Sind and Never Quit. Settling down, about 1,200 to go, and Fen Dalton raced out 3 lengths in front of our Krona. Bronze Knight third, Boardwalk Angel fourth. Then Glenview on the outside of Marlong, followed by Memphis Blues and Royal Creation going up 3 and 4 wide. A length and a half away, then a Painted Ocean, followed by Better Loosen Up, 2 lengths to Pressman's Choice, then Acid Print, Aces and Kings, and back at the rear end of the field, Never Quit and Swift Sind. 700 metres to go. Fen Dalton led by 2, our Krona second. Third Boardwalk Angel, then Memphis Blues, followed by Bronze Knight, Glenview, 2 to Royal Creation. Then Marlong, Better Loosen Up, Painted Ocean, Pressman's Choice, Aces and Kings hooked out deep, and back of the rear, Acid Print with Swift Sind and Never Quit. Straightening up, 500 metres to go. Our Krona goes up to Fen Dalton. A length away, Boardwalk Angel, followed by Bronze Knight, Glenview running on. Royal Creation under the whip, and then Better Loosen Up, Memphis Blues. 300 metres to go. It's our Krona in front. He's a length clear, getting into second place in Glenview. Royal Creation running on was Better Loosen Up. Our Krona kicked away. 150 to go. He's a length and a half clear. Better Loosen Up coming hard. Then Swift Sind. Our Krona, Better Loosen Up. Better Loosen Up coming at our Krona. They go to the line. Better Loosen Up one. A short half head to our Krona and Swift Sind. Then Glenview and Fen Dalton, followed by Pressman's Choice and Acid Print.
Urge forward in front of our Krona, the margin half a length straightening up now. 1.5 to Boardwalk Angel, Bronze Knight, Glenview called on for her run. Next Royal Creation, who's under the whip along the rails, and further back is Better Loosen Up. Our Krona at the 300 got level with Fendleton, put its nose in front. Boardwalk Angel a length and a half back. Glenview, Royal Creation trying to reach the leaders. Better Loosen Up with a late run, but it's our Krona in front, 100 out. Here's Better Loosen Up and Swift's in from last. Our Krona in front. Better Loosen Up nearly level as they go to the line. A bobbing finish. Better Loosen Up, I think, may have wanted a nose, our Krona.
Better Loosen Up. Better Loosen Up really got to the line hard on the outside. This is a lot closer than what a lot of people think too. Myself personally, for me, I know you've given the horse on the outside.
Dig deep. Now, what'll you do with Better Loosen Up now, Colin?
We'll possibly think of Perth. because the railway Loosen Up was then taken to the west, where he collected his first Group 1 event at weight for age.
Making ground, and Queen of Pop was last at the 450. Hard Act is the leader. On the outside, Jules Brutus looming up. On the inside was Timeless Action. Here's Better Loosen Up joining in quickly, followed by Truth, K-Sard and Spirit of Air. Into the straight, 250 to go. Hard Act the leader. Here comes Better Loosen Up after him on the outside. Hard Act led. Better Loosen Up has levelled up. They're followed now by on the outside K-Sard and Timeless Action. Better Loosen Up has taken the lead, and Better Loosen Up has got it won. Better Loosen Up a length and a half. Hard Act.
There was more than 5 weeks to his next race, the Railway Stakes, but the Hayes stable had no worries about Better Loosen Up's fitness when he took his place in Western Australia's premier metric mile.
There goes Better Loosen Up off 5 and 6 wide. He was followed by Proud Treaty, well back to Medicine Kid, My Bobby Boo and Ma Wong. Into the straight they race with 300 to go and Carry a Smile. Raced up the Juno Dreamo, and here's Jules Brute down the outer. Followed by Concord Flyer. Century God, Better Loosen Up down the outside, 100 to go. Carry a Smile from Jules Brute. Here comes Better Loosen Up on the outside. Better Loosen Up went to Jules Brute. Ma Wong got an inside run, but Better Loosen Up has won ahead.
When he won the Railway, it was just a sensational performance because he got interfered with badly about the 600 metre mark. A horse come out in front of him from the inside, and he copped severe interference, and it wasn't sort of didn't show up as much watching a TV film as what it did on the Stewards film. Like, he struck severe interference about the 600 metre mark, and for him to overcome that and then go wide on the bend, and his performance there was outstanding, and that really showed the signs of him being a high quality horse.
A smile from Jules Brute. Here comes Better Loosen Up on the outside. Better Loosen Up went to Jules Brute. Marwan got an inside run, but Better Loosen Up has won ahead.
Back at Melbourne for the Autumn Carnivals, Better Loosen Up continued on his winning way.
2 lengths to Superimpose down the outsider, and then a long break to Better Loosen Up, followed by Barley here. Vo Rogue is the leader. Superimpose is coming after him on the outside as they run to the 250. Vo Rogue about to be tackled by Superimpose, who looks to be going the better. Superimpose has taken the lead with 100 metres left to go. Better Loosen Up is flying home down the outside, but Superimpose looks to have it won. Better Loosen Up is flying. Better Loosen Up coming up. Superimpose. Better Loosen Up in the last stride. Better Loosen Up has won in the last stride from Superimpose and Vo Rogue. Master Better Loosen Up. Superimpose went past Vo Rogue, who's beaten a length and a half to Better Loosen Up. Superimpose through to the front. Better Loosen Up running on strongly, might get the second. Superimpose in front. Better Loosen Up flashing at him. He's going to beat him. 3 wins for Clark and Hayes.
Very upset Vic Rail. Better Loosen Up was the winner. The Railway Stakes winner coming home with a wet sail, $2.60 and $1.05. Second place and going to Superimpose, returning 80 cents. There was no third time.
And when he went to Sydney for the Segenhoe, we were sort of quietly confident that he could produce his best there.
6.5 to 1 on the tote. By golly, it's big odds about a champ. Number 2, Superimpose. I've tipped him. I think he'll run a super race. He's at 8 to 1. Corkage is at 50 to 1. Better Loosen Up, 6.5 to 1 from the Colin Hayes stable, ridden by his jockey Michael Clark. King's High, a stablemate, is at 30 to 1. Citizen Astaya is at 40 to 1. Horlicks, the champ New Zealander, they gave 2s in the betting ring. She's in now to $2.70 for $1. Odds of round about 13.
Stella, winner of the Canterbury Guineas. Starter Billy Dale shouting instructions. The stalls fly open, the flags down, and they're off in the Segenhoe, and they'll appear in view in just a moment. And here they come racing into view. Superimpose is the early leader. Horlicks has now taken over. King's High is moving up quickly on the outside, followed by Red Chiffon. Now Cyril Small's going to maintain a straight course in the run to the first turn. He's right out in the middle of the track, and there goes the Vo now. Vo Rogue is spearing across at the 1600 mark to go to the lead, and he quickly kicked away about 3 lengths on Horlicks, followed by King's High, Riverina Charm and Red Chiffon a bit deep early. Then Dr. Grace and Corkage Superimpose on the inside of Sedestin, followed by Palace Revolt. Chalet are a fair way back towards the tail, and second last is Interstellar, and Better Loosen Up in front of 3 horses, but away goes Vo Rogue down the back. At the 1200 mark, Cyril Small has let the champ go, and Vo Rogue is 12 lengths in front of Horlicks, who's got the unenviable task of taking the field up to the leader. A neck away, King's High on the outside, a bit more than a length to Red Chiffon. Corkage is travelling 3 deep, and then Riverina Charm, who got a check and fell back on Dr. Grace, who struck trouble. Then Superimpose, followed by Sedestin, Better Loosen Up, and Palace Revolt. Interstellar and Chalet are on the outside, is last at the 800 mark, and it's the Vaux. Vaux Rogue is still about 10 lengths in front. Horlicks is second, King's High third. Corkage on the outside as they come down the side, followed by Riverina Charm. Red Chiffon out deep as Dr. Grace at the 600 mark, a gap to Superimpose, Sedestin, then Palace Revolt, Better Loosen Up, Chalet and Interstellar is last. They're starting to peg Vaux Rogue back as they come around the turn. He's straightened up 2 lengths in front. Here's Horlicks. Horlicks is quickly looming up to Vaux Rogue as they turn for home. King's High in third place, followed by Riverina Charm, and Dr. Grace on the outside is putting in a big run, and going with him is Sedestin. Horlicks flat to the boards in front at the 200. Dr. Grace and Sedestin are challenging, and Better Loosen Up on the extreme outside. Sedestin and Better Loosen Up have come away. They're fighting it out. Better Loosen Up on the extreme outside is drawing clear, and Better Loosen Up wins the Segenhoe. Sedestin second, Superimpose third, fourth Dr. Grace, fifth Horlicks, sixth is Interstellar. Vaux Rogue weakened to run in the middle of the pack, followed by Corkage, Red Chiffon, then
6 and 2. Better Loosen Up, $7.30 and $2.30. Sedestin, $9.09.
Flat to the boards in front at the 200. Dr. Grace and Sedestin are challenging, and Better Loosen Up on the extreme outside. Sedestin and Better Loosen Up have come away. They're fighting it out. Better Loosen Up on the extreme outside is drawing clear, and Better Loosen Up wins the Segenhoe. Sedestin.
And so then we rested him, and David thought that it would be the Japan Cup would be his race, and so the Cox Plate and Japan Cup. So he took over the training then.
Better Loosen Up went for a well-earned spell with 4 Group 1 victories to his credit, and the promise of more to come.
Won his next 7 straight in one of the most devastating, most awesome displays in the history of the Australian turf. It began in the field. And it got
Better Loosen Up turned in a great performance in the Feehan Stakes, giving the leaders a big start. He accelerated quickly to join them on the turn.
Loosen Up, cutting loose and coming with a great run around them from you. Sour Sacrosanct and then Universal Ambition, and the Phantom held up on the inside. They're homeward bound, and now Westminster claims Stylish Century. Better Loosen Up pounding into the picture. Arc Regal off the rail but still held up, and then the Phantom running on halfway down the straight. Better Loosen Up challenges our Westminster and Stylish Century, with the Phantom driving through. Better Loosen Up and Stylish Century, and I think Better Loosen Up's just won it from Stylish Century.
It was a similar story.
The leader here now, Stylish Century, but on the outside our Westminster's grabbed him, and here's Better Loosen Up with a sweeping run. Around the outside, and Arc Regal trying to get out as our Westminster put his head in front of Stylish Century. Better Loosen Up is starting to join in, and then Arc Regal trying to get out, runs into a dead end. In the straight now, it's our Westminster, Stylish Century. Better Loosen Up getting to them on the outside. The favourite, Better Loosen Up, gets up to Stylish Century, who fights back with our Westminster. Here's a go down to the post. Dead heat. Better Loosen Up, Stylish Century. I couldn't separate them. Third and nose away.
Yes, a thrilling finish with the favourite Better Loosen Up catching Stylish Century, and our Westminster.
Fourth last, 2 lengths away of Freed, Chevelle Cavalier, and Batuta last of all. About 800 metres left to go on the Turnbull Stakes, and Savage Toss leads a half a length to Mr. Brooker. A length and a quarter away, Stargazer third, then Sir Midas, Royal Creation, Shazora. 2.5 lengths to Pressman's Choice, and they were followed by Universal Ambition. Now Better Loosen Up called upon by Clark Acquidity, well back with a Freed, Chevelle Cavalier and Batuta. Around the turn in the Turnbull Stakes, 500 metres to go. Savage Toss got away from the rail, but led by a length and a quarter. Royal Creation into the clear, running on strongly, then Stargazer, Mr. Brooker, Shazora, and Better Loosen Up down the outside from Acquidity and Afraid. With about 300 metres to go, and Royal Creation got right up on the inside to grab the lead. Here comes Shazora and Better Loosen Up down the outside from Acquidity. Royal Creation in front, grabbed by Shazora. Here's the favourite, Better Loosen Up on the outside, Shazora in front. Better Loosen Up gets to it, Royal Creation kicking back on the rail. Royal Creation, Better Loosen Up, the favourite did best and won. Better Loosen Up, he knows where the post is. Better Loosen Up, a half-head Royal Creation, and Shazora third. Then Pressman's Choice called for the photo, but you'll find Better Loosen Up has won the Turnbull Stakes, number 1, approximately 105 and 7.
The rails followed by Better Loosen Up, and then a Free, Chevelle Cavalier, and Batuta had dropped out to be last of all as they sweep round the home turn on the Turnbull now. Balancing for home, and Savage Toss first into the straight. The run there for Sir Midas, if good enough, as Savage Toss left the fence. They were followed by Royal Creation coming through on the inside, Stargazer and Mr. Brooker. Here's Shazora staking her claim, and Better Loosen Up on the outside. outside, but Royal Creation led at the 300. Here's Shazura coming out after Royal Creation, and Better Loosen Up is starting to hit top gear. Shazura got to Royal Creation with Better Loosen Up challenging on the outside. Better Loosen Up, Shazura, Royal Creation, 3 across the track. Better Loosen Up getting to Royal Creation. They go to the line, a bobbing finish. Better Loosen Up. Better Loosen Up has got up to beat Royal Creation.
By now, racegoers were accustomed to Better Loosen Up's habit of winning by a narrow margin.
And there's the WS Cox Plate. It has to do with the making of legends. Somehow, it reaches beyond sport.
They're set. And they're racing now. Stylo Century away brilliantly nearer the inside, jumping out fast St Jude. Canny Lad began like a rocket and he's up on the outside, and further out Horlicks O'Sullivan starting to heel her up. Stylo Century's in front. Horlicks has gone up second and King's High in the middle third, followed by St Jude. Canny Lad at the winning post. Then Lord Rivener going out.
It's probably the greatest performance we've seen in modern history of the Cox Plate, because he stood the leader Stylo Century close to 25, 30 length start with about 1,200 metres to go. He had to run a track record to get up and win. And I think the field assembled that particular year was a vintage year, and the way he did it when he went past horses like Citizen and Kenny Ladd, Stylish Century, etc. It was just one of those great Cox Plate performances, but that was the horse, you know. It was just the best Cox Plate performance I think I've ever seen.
30 lengths off the lead. They're followed by Shazura Integra back in the middle, and last of all the Phantom. At the turn of the 850 and Stylish Century a mile in front. He led by 15 lengths to King's High second. A length into St Jude, followed by Horlicks. Kenny Lad outside it. 3 further back, Citizen. They're starting to get busy now, and further back in the field, Lord Rivener. Better Loosen Up is 15 lengths off the lead, and under the whip, followed by the Phantom, Integra and Shazura. Stylish Century coming back to them, 5 lengths in front now of St Jude, Kenny Lad. A length into the Tasmanian, Citizen under the whip. 2 further back, Horlicks making heavy weather of it. They're followed by Better Loosen Up and the Phantom that grabbed Stylish Century, 400 to go. Kenny Lad out wide, raced up now to grab the front, Citizen the challenger, and Better Loosen Up from a mile back. Kenny Lad in front, but here's the Tasmanian champ now, Citizen on the outside. Citizen gets to Kenny Lad, and here comes Better Loosen Up with a mighty run. Citizen and Better Loosen Up. Better Loosen Up on the outside, going home better. Better Loosen Up takes the Cox Plate, wins it a half length to Citizen, a neck away. Third in the race is Kenny Lad, then the Phantom.
At least 15 lengths down the side, and then the Phantom Integra, and Shazura dropped out last. At the school, Stylish Century, the leader's only 5 lengths now to St Jude. Kenny Lad is coming out after him, and then Citizen under the whip. Horlicks is beaten back behind those, and Better Loosen Up is under a lot of pressure. 6 or 7 lengths from the lead. They're on the turn now, and the 3-year-olds are claiming Stylish Century. Stylish Century in front round the bend from Kenny Lad, who's hit the front now. Kenny Lad's hit the front with St Jude, and still running on is Citizen on the outside, and Better Loosen Up is flying home at the end of it. Kenny Lad grabbed by Citizen. Better Loosen Up goes to Citizen. Better Loosen Up has taken the lead, and Better Loosen Up has won it from Citizen. Kenny Lad is third. The Phantom are flying. So the great record of favourites continuing, and certainly Better Loosen Up's name will sit well on the honour roll. Nick,
how's he recovered from the run? It was a very strenuous performance.
I was straight after the race, a little bit concerned for the horse, because he's so genuine, and he had to chase and raced, so hard. But when you watch the replay, the last furlong actually was a typical Better Loosen Up last furlong. He had them covered, and he just did as much as he had to. And credit to the horse, we're all amazed at the stable. Hasn't left a note, and he's just his old lazy old self around the stable. He's no different, and considering he pulled 2 plates off in running, he's just so tough.
Does that mean there's a possibility he may run in the McKinnon Stakes on Saturday as a lead-up to the Japan Cup?
It is a possibility, Bruce. The horse will tell us.
Victory was simply amazing, and so was his winning time. In the Race of Champions, he lowered Rubiton's track record by 1.4 seconds.
I felt for the horse because I thought he'd had a very hard run, but he pulled up from that race probably better than any run that preparation. So he really was an iron horse as well as a great horse.
Now
down the side. It's Stylish Century lengthening the break about 2.5 lengths. Dual Treasures won't let him get away. They're about 4 or 5 lengths in front of Naboto and Mr. Brooker. Kept him on the rails, and then came Better Loosen Up. There's Terrific making an early run. He's gone round the outside of Better Loosen Up. Further back in the field, Royal Creation, and then Citizen, Just a Dancer, and Solar Circle. On the turn, Stylish Century leads at the 500. He's about 2 lengths to Dual Treasures. Better Loosen Up is close enough now as he turns for home in third placing, followed by Mr. Brooker. Back behind those horses is Kessem, and they were trailed by Citizen, and then Just a Dancer. Stylish Century in front at the 300. 2 lengths to Better Loosen Up, given full bore, and then Dual Treasures, Mr. Brooker. Kessem on the outside at Stylish Century. Better Loosen Up a half length behind him. Clark has pulled the whip, and Better Loosen Up and Stylish Century fight it out nose and nose. Better Loosen Up goes home the better, and Better Loosen Up has beaten Stylish Century by a long neck. 2 lengths.
Here's Better Loosen Up and Kessem down the outside. Stylish Century a length in front. Better Loosen Up wearing him down, and Kessem out wider than Mr. Brooker. Stylish Century in front. Better Loosen Up getting to him. Stylish in front. Better Loosen Up wearing him down. Better Loosen Up with Clark go to the front end. He is a champion. Better Loosen Up wins the McKinnon by a neck. Stylish second to Cannot Run. 3 away Mr. Brooker, followed by Kessem. Just a Dancer in on superbly a great cup measures.
Daddy, they've run 2.9 in the race, which is 2.9 outside the track record. And, you know, they've run the last half mile in 46 seconds. Better Loosen Up. He had to run it to beat Stylish Century. The Stylish Century got a good break on. It just seems unbeatable in the Japan Cup. Oh, gee whiz, isn't he going to be hard to beat in the Japan Cup? We seen Horlicks win here last year, and after that we said, well, she'd go to Japan and acquit herself very well. Well, she broke the world record. This horse, I think, is a better horse than Horlicks, and that's a big statement.
Tell me, how won in his career?
That's his sixth Group 1 race, and he's won 3 Group 2s in the space of 12 months. So I don't know what Kingston Town did, but he must be getting pretty close.
He's getting very close. Will he now go straight to Japan?
Yeah, he'll go to Japan. He's done everything I've asked of him, and I'm sure he'll represent the country well.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Its massive prize money and status attracted English Derby winners, winners of the Arc, the Breeders' Cup, the finest blue bloods in the world. Better Loosen Up, more blue collar than blue blood, came here for the 10th running of the Japan Cup, along with Stylish Century representing Australia. He was to be number 10, starting from gate 10, but in the pre-fifth top.
Line is good. They're off. The breakaway wasn't a clean one. One of the first out here towards the centre is Asashi George. He landed in front with Stylish Century away quickly. Karkawipi's behind them, and further out on the track here is Petit Deal as they go down to the winning post, and there's no pace. Stylish Century getting up on the inside now of Asashi George, and they're together from Petit Deal. Karkawipi's, and further back Whitestone has got to the rail. Better Loosen Up has got about 4 behind him going out of the straight. Stylish Century, and on the outside of him, Asashi George taking over in the Japan Cup to lead by 2 lengths now to Stylish Century, and going up third and neck away on the outside is Petit Deal. A length to Karkawipi's running 4th, and they're followed by Belmez 5th and Whitestone on the rail. A half then to Ode, further back Yayuna Matuki, and they're followed by El Wish, who's racing deep around Better Loosen Up. Over along the inside is Eben Bay. They're followed further back in the field, down the back by Phantom Breeze, and then French Glory. Second last in the Japan Cup is George Monarch, and Aguri Cap is last of all. As the pace goes on now at the 1400 metre mark, and the leader is Asachi George, about a length in front. He's away from the fence, and Stylish Century has got up inside him. A length further back in the field, then Petit Deal third. A length and a half to Karkawipi. 4 lengths further back, running 5th is Belmez, and they're followed by Whitestone. A length and a half then to Ode. They're followed by Yayuna Matuki. Better Loosen Up is starting to make his run. They're followed further back in the field by Ibn Bay. Well back out of its ground, coming off the back now is French Glory. As they race now to the 900 metre mark, and the leader still is Asashi George, a length and a half to Stylish Century. They're followed by Petit Deal running third, a length and a half. Karkawipi's has had a lovely run 4th. 2 lengths further back, Belmez starting to put in a claim. They're followed over on the inside by Whitestone when they come up to the bend. Further back then, pulled out wide on the track, making a run as Ode, and they're followed by Phantom Breeze. Well back was Better Loosen Up when they turned for home, but the leader away from the rail here is Asashi George at the straight from Stylish Century. Coming up them out wider on the track is Petit Deal. Karkawipi's in the middle, gets a run, and Better Loosen Up is getting out with Belmez down the outside. Karkawipi's has broken loose at the 200 metre mark, 2 lengths in front. Better Loosen Up going after him, but running in and further out on the track with a great great run is Ode. Ode is after Carcaweethy's Better Loosen Up in the middle is coming with a magnificent run. Carcaweethy's Better Loosen Up and Ode. Better Loosen Up in the middle's put his head in front. Better Loosen Up has won for Australia. Better Loosen Up has won the Japan Cup from either Ode or Carcaweethy's. We've done it. We've taken the Japan Cup with Better Loosen Up. They're followed by Whitestone. Then for the back, Stylish Sentry. Behind the field then is Yayu number 2. Rider on the track is Petit Deal. Carcaweethy's in the middle, gets a run, and Better Loosen Up is getting out with Palmares down the outside. Carcaweethy's is broken loose at the 200-metre mark, 2 lengths in front. Better Loosen Up going after him, but running in and further out of the track with a great run is Ode. Ode is after Carcaweethy's Better Loosen Up in the middle is coming with a magnificent run. Carcaweethy's Better Loosen Up and Ode. Better Loosen Up in the middle, put his head in front. Better Loosen Up has won for Australia. Better Loosen Up has won the Japan Cup from either Ode or Carcaweethy's. We've done it. We've taken the Japan Cup with Better Loosen Up.
Oh, sensational.
With him is Phantom Breeze. The judge has called for the photo. The judge has called for the photo in the Japan Cup. And this
Melbourne-based race caller Brian Martin summed the race up perfectly. Better Loosen Up had won for Australia.
Oh, sensational. I lost my voice, but, you know, I kept having to pinch myself, and, I wouldn't know what it's like to win the Olympics, but I think that in horse racing that'd be the closest thing to winning a gold medal in the Olympics.
It was, quite simply, Australia's greatest achievement in international racing. The plain brown, the kind our grandfathers took at roving, had become a champion of the world, a knockout.
He thrived, and going into the Blamey, I would say definitely improved.
Set and away. Vogue, one of the best to bounce out. Better Loosen Up immediately snagged to the rear, and Vogue found the front running, got a length in front of Arc Regal. Kingston Rule settles down a length and a quarter away third, and then 2 lengths Better Loosen Up outside Coal Diesel. 1,300 to go, and Vogue goes out by about 4 lengths at this stage. Arc Regal is second, and 2.5 lengths Kingston Rule. 2 lengths then 2 Better Loosen Up, and last Coal Diesel. Vogue had gone further clear at the 1,100 now, and he's opened up a break of about 6 lengths, I'd say, over Arc Regal. About 2.5 or 3 then to Kingston Rule. 2 lengths 10 to Better Loosen Up, and Coal Diesel 4 lengths behind him. 900 left to go, and Vogue has lengthened the break. He's probably 8 lengths down to Arc Regal. Vogue in front of Arc Regal, and 4 lengths Kingston Rule. 2 lengths then to Better Loosen Up. Would have to be at least 12 lengths from the leader. Vogue coming near to the turn. Coal Diesel getting further behind them. At the 600, and it's Vogue doing everything right at the 600-metre mark. He'll turn for home about 5 lengths in front. Arc Regal is second, 2 lengths Kingston Rule. Better Loosen Up easing to the outside, and then Coal Diesel. Cyril Small asked for something from the Rogue as they balance fully now. Had a look around, and he was 5 lengths in front of Arc Regal. Clark winding up. Better Loosen Up now runs to second. At the 300 now, and Small's gone for the whip. It's Vogue about 6 lengths in front of Better Loosen Up, giving chase, and then Kingston Rule. 200 left to go. Vogue's 3. Better Loosen Up is trying very hard, and he's inch by inch coming at Vogue. Vogue by 3/4 with 100 to go. Better Loosen Up's level. Better Loosen Up takes the lead and wins it by a neck to Vogue. What a race.
What a horse.
Now, and Small's gone for the whip. It's Vogue about 6 lengths in front of Better Loosen Up, giving chase, and then Kingston Rule. 200 left to go. Vogue's 3. Better Loosen Up is trying very hard, and he's inch by inch coming at Vogue. Vogue by 3/4 with 100 to go. Better Loosen Up's level. Better Loosen Up takes the lead and wins it by a neck to Vogue. What a race.
The champ was back bigger and better.
A great win, and he does belong in the champions bracket. Vogue certainly lost no admirers.
Finish between 2 great horses, and Better Loosen Up must now be rated one of the great champions of the last 10 years. His trainer David Hay.
Look, I think now that Better Loosen Up is maybe emerging as the best horse we've seen for a couple of decades, Bruce. I think we've underestimated this horse. He has won 4.2 million in prize money, but that's no longer a measure. I think his measure was beating the best in the world in the Japan Cup, and coming back at his very next start to win over 1,600 metres first up. That's a great horse's performance.
Let's go to the Australian Cup. There was a lot of money for Vogue. He was expected to run well. We picked the race up at the start. You'll see the lead that Vogue establishes. Then we go to the home turn. You've never seen a horse travelling better than Better Loosen Up was.
And they're racing. Away they go, and Vo Rogue hunted away from the barrier, bounced out in front and landed 3 lengths in front on settling down now from Prince Salieri. A length further back, Better Loosen Up. Clark's not going to get too far back. He's gone up third on the outside of Prince Salieri, and Vo Rogue goes out about 6 or 7 in front of Better Loosen Up on the outside of Prince Salieri. A length and a half, Citizen on the outside of him, Barlandy, and back on the rail is Just a Dancer. At the 1600 metre mark, and Small gave Vo his head, and Vo Rogue went out about 8 or 9, 10 lengths in front now of Barlandy, the bolter, going up second. 2 lengths further back, then Better Loosen Up, a length and a half to Prince Salieri, followed by Citizen at the 1400 metre mark, and Just a Dancer back on the rail. Vo Rogue with a huge break going towards Chiquita Lodge at the 1300 metre mark. It's Vo Rogue by 12 lengths. Vo Rogue at the 550 metre mark. High on the inside, Small gave him a crack with a whip. Clark looked confident on Better Loosen Up, raced up and grabbed him. Clark looked again. Then Prince Salieri followed by Citizen as they race to the 300 metre mark, and he shakes up Better Loosen Up, and away he goes. This grand horse, he races away 2 in front of Prince Salieri. Then Vo Rogue, who's gone from Citizen, but the mighty Better Loosen Up is drawing clear. Oh, he must be one of the best in the world, Better Loosen Up. Look at him go over the last 100 metres. A magnificent victory. Better Loosen Up drives to the line by 5 lengths. Second, Vo Rogue ahead away. Third, Prince Salieri.
And it's Vo Rogue first into the straight. Better Loosen Up, poised for his run at the 500 metre mark. Clark had a look around. 2 lengths, Prince Salieri third. Then Citizen below the 400. Vo Rogue in front, 3/4. Better Loosen Up cantering on the outside. Then Prince Salieri, but Better Loosen Up gave Vo Rogue the go by. The champion straight away. 3 lengths in front, passing the 200 from Vo Rogue and Prince Salieri. This is a champion. Better Loosen Up going 5 lengths in front of Vo Rogue and Prince Salieri. Better Loosen Up, hail the new champ, 6 lengths. Better Loosen Up has now won 7 in a row and hasn't been defeated on firm ground in the past 12 months. It was such an authoritative victory, David Hayes believes he's almost invincible. In the run today, he had just one minor worry.
My only query was when Vo Rogue came back to them so quickly that we might be left in front, and he's such a loafer that Michael had to go to the front because he was going so easy. The horse took him to the front.
Better Loosen Up has now banked in excess of $4.6 million, and there's more to come in Sydney.
At last, Better Loosen Up had delivered his knockout punch. It was as if he'd decided to show the world just how brilliant he could be. The people of...
It was just so exciting. Since I've been in Melbourne, the only other horses I've seen accelerate like that were Red Anchor in the Derby in '84 and Rubiton in the Underwood Stakes in '87. But this horse sustained that speed for such a long time.
And it was quite out of character.
Loosen Up at his absolute top. And Keith Hillier, after the race, everybody started to compare this horse with the greats of the past. Farlat was even mentioned at one stage. Tulloch was talked about in Kingston Town. Where do we put him? Where does he sit right now?
Well, before the race, sadly, I put Citizen, and I think you just put him up there with the best, Bruce. He's had 7 or 8 successive wins now. He's won internationally, something that most of the others didn't do. I think he's the best since Tulloch in my mind. I rate him better than Kingston Town and Dulcify and some of the great horses of the past 2 or 3 decades.
Okay, William.
With his career earnings standing at nearly $5 million, Better Loosen Up headed to Sydney for the $1 million BMW. His clash with the outstanding Superimpose was billed as the race of the season. Then, fate delivered a cruel blow.
He just stumbled and bowed that tendon, and we got it. I was, quite obvious he'd bowed his tendon, and the scan confirmed that, and it was probably the worst day in my short training career's life anyway.
Those closely associated with Better Loosen Up believed that his best racing days were ahead of him. An awesome thought when you consider his outstanding achievements to date.
Says Dulcify was the best 3-year-old he's had anything to do with, and probably he's seen. I think but Dad concedes as a 4- and 5-year-old this horse's record is as good, or if not on his day superior. To have a horse that you could even compare with Dulcify, or could be even compared with Kingston Town, it's pretty good. So, I'm proud of the horse, and I just hope he can come back and show us all what he can do again. Have his first win back in his comeback. He worked up with a horse called Farrar, who since has been very competitive in the Australian Cup and the Chester Manifold, and was toying with the horse, just dipped in his gallop and and he went. And it was just a tragedy, but the horse, he's fine now, but we've decided to retire the horse because we just don't want to put him at risk.
And here comes Better Loosen Up with a mighty run. Citizen and Better Loosen Up. Better Loosen Up on the outside, going home. Better Loosen Up takes the Cox Plate. Wins it a half.
He's such a professional. I don't think there's any doubt that the Australian public are going to remember Better Loosen Up for the Japan Cup. They'll remember him winning the great race, the Cox Plate, but I think that is probably just slightly overshadowed by his performance in Tokyo. And as I say, he will be the benchmark of what other horses can do overseas. And
The 400, Vogue in front, 3/4, Better Loosen Up, cantering on the outside. Then Prince Salieri, but Better Loosen Up gave Vogue the go by. The champion straight away, 3 lengths in front, passing the 200 from Vogue and Prince Salieri. This is a champion. Better Loosen Up going 5 lengths in front of Vogue and Prince Salieri. Better Loosen Up, hail the new champ, 6 lengths. Vogue second,
At last,
Prince Salieri.
Better Loosen Up had delivered his knockout punch.